Okay, so excuse my whole setup. I have some things currently in transition for a variety of things. So right now for a few videos, you'll just be having black screen and me, and you can see my clothes in the background. So, however, we did finish Reaper Drone Strike. Um, I want it to be good. I really, really do. I wanted the whole Reaper stuff to be good. Still a very good series. Solid. But not the top of the line series, I will say. So Drone Strike was a little difficult to get into because of everything with uh, the perspective shifting in the chapters. You had so many characters flip-flopping back and forth, and it would be 10 pages of Vic, 5 pages of Saucy, 10 of another guy, but then it would be like 20 to 30 of Saucy. And it just felt like there was not enough of the main guy. I feel like there needed to be a little bit more, like some of the stuff needed to be swapped out more. Some of the things with uh, the Italian chick, Saucy, and having the bad guys and everything, having their perspectives, absolutely, I love having those and seeing those. But there were just one too many chapters that were so long. And this is coming from somebody who loves long chapters. Having over 20-page chapters on one character, it got a little difficult to read at times with just discussing random things. So that made it difficult. Otherwise, everything with Vic this time, absolutely loved it. I love moving away from everything with Bronson, and the other chick that he dated was his old spotter, was Samuelson's sister. I love kind of getting away from all of that, but keeping them involved, that was a good touch. However, throwing in a whole new character with her own motives and everything seems a little off, but I'm guessing apparently there's going to be another book by the end of it. The epilogue had a bit of a surprise twist that leaves it very open-ended, kind of a big cliffhanger. So I'm expecting there's going to be a fourth book coming out, unless there's something I don't know about. So otherwise, we will end pretty much the Reaper trilogy here. I thought it was just 3 books, but if there's a fourth one coming out, I guess we'll probably see somewhere in the next like year or two if there's another one coming out. But everything with Vick Harwood, I loved it. His and not like there is the whole like conspiracy becomes part of, but that isn't his drive. That is a secondary to everything. I was like literally the last like 100 pages. Oh hey, I should stop this. But everything else was all about getting to his spotter. Like this one felt like a good personal mission for the character. Like it's already lost several spotters, and this is one he won't lose. Because it's what? He lost LaBeouf and then Samuelson? I think those were the only 2. So this being his 3rd spotter, like he says in the book, in as many years, that was such a good focus for him. I loved it. Having Saucy and her personal mission felt like it took away from a lot of that with what this book is about. Bad guys, their motives, all that stuff, absolutely loved it. Very good. I would probably, like I said, have cut down the Italian chick's whole thing in the book. I would probably cut it in half, and either made this book shorter or added more to the bad guys, like communicating. The guy in the Middle East and the German guy, I would have had a little bit more for them, like 25% of each of them, cut the Italian chick stuff in half, and whatever spare percentages you have left filled in with more of Vic's perspective or even Clutch's perspective. Somewhere in the middle of the book where he's in prison, I would have loved to see Clutch's perspective, being in prison, thinking if Vick is going to come after them. So, otherwise, again, it is a very solid book, but there's still a lot of rough edges to me. And part of that is going to be the pacing. So, but I still recommend people read it, try it for themselves. I think some people will be surprised by it. I think others will enjoy it. And it definitely it's going to be like the Terminalist. It's not going to be for some people, but this will be a lot more easier for everyday civilians and Joe Schmoes to read than the Terminalist. It's not as technical. So that will be my 2 cents on what I think of the Reaper drone strike. So next up, we're going to be reading the Halo books. So I have read Halo Fall of Reach several times. We aren't going to do that, especially because that one was pre-written before a lot of other things came out, both the Halo video games and the Halo books. So Halo Fall of Reach is kind of outside of some of the canon of the current stuff, but I will do a review on it while I'm reading Halo the Flood, which is the second book in the series, or you could kind of say the first book in the series, that starts off exactly how the original Halo game started, Halo Combat Evolved. So we're going to be getting into the Flood, and then what's the other one? First Strike, and then Ghosts of Onyx. Those are going to be our next 3 reads. And then after that, we're going to start doing some rereads. So it'll be different than my first time reading some books, which will be kind of in some of this series. We'll do a reread of books I haven't read in like 10 plus years or 5 plus years. We're going to go back and re-explore my thoughts and my processes about it, and we're going to upload those. So once we finish Halo, that will be kind of the next on the agenda, and then we'll go to some other books that we haven't read as well. So we'll flip-flop back and forth, but I want to get the Terminalist, the Reaper books, and the Halo books before I reread some personal favorites. So that'll be our tentative plan for books in the foreseeable future.